What is up, everybody? Welcome to another Babymaker live Q&A session right here from San Diego. And today, apologies for the video quality. Our camera is out. We're on the webcam. Troy is outside doing push-ups right now. He'll be joining in 5 minutes to go over the global status update, kind of a production update live on air here. And we're going to walk you through all the progress that has been made since the last update. We are so close now. Just a couple highlights that I will share with you before we jump into some questions. In the US, all of our Babymakers that we have made have been sent out. There are a handful of people who ordered a Babymaker where we just ran out of that configuration of Babymakers. We mentioned that on the last live, and those people were actually going to be upgrading them to the Babymaker 2. So super excited about that. And those are going to be coming here pretty soon. But that rounds out fulfillment for the US. There are still some accessories, some touring packages, batteries, etc., that we will continue to work on. But for the US, that brings us to 100%. For UK and EU, our first of 2 final shipments from the last batch of components has gone out. I believe that's going to the distribution center, and then from there to our riders there in UK and EU. Troy's going to give us a better update on that, but that's gone out. So that leaves us with just 1 final shipment, which is in progress, being built right now. And our numbers for UK are now at 94%, and for EU are at 91%. US 100, Canada 100, New Zealand 100, Australia 100, low volume locations 100, total 98%. So close, almost there. Again, some accessories around the world we'll continue working on, especially those batteries, which just took forever to get the actual cells, but we'll be there soon. That's really my highlight section. So let's jump into these comments, and Troy's getting his pump on to join the live. Let's see. From Mikkel. Hi, can't come online at... Let me change this banner out real quick. Sorry. Hi, can't come online at live launch time, so I hope you will answer still, and I can hear the answer tomorrow. Touring kits, address confirmation sent October 21st, and the same update has been sent 4 times now. When is estimated arrival, and why have they been delayed so many times? You're in Europe, so I'm not sure what you're reading about that update. You might be seeing what we've sent for the US. I've got the update pulled up here, so I'll try and see exactly you're reading. But it's a different status in every geographic location. So in the US, we've had a ton of those touring packages go through our warehouses and get sent out to backers. In EU, it has been a little bit slower. EU and UK, we've been totally focused on the bike production. And I believe we actually do have touring packages there. We're just working on the final detail of the final leg of actually shipping them to your door. That's been challenging. because of a lot of red tape there in Europe. Just so many documents that we've been running back and forth to get. I guess it's tax paperwork basically set up with a carrier. But when I tell you, I've run to the consulate multiple times here to get this paperwork done over and over and over again, because each time it comes back with one little thing that they don't like. It's absolutely wild. So we continue work on that, and we're looking for alternatives to be able to ship those out. From Catherine, I am wondering if you have given up supplying the touring kits for standard Babymakers. Ordered, paid, even confirmed address months ago, and no notice ever regarding whereabouts or ETA. If you're not going to supply because you have given up on standard version, when do we get refunded? I live in a rainy Canadian climate. These bikes are useless without fenders. Catherine, no, we have not given up on that. The accessories or something that we put priority on the actual bikes, because we had hundreds, if not thousands earlier, people who were waiting on their bikes. And we figured if we're gonna put all our effort into something, we better at least deliver people's bikes, and bandwidth permitting, follow with all the accessories. So unfortunately, some of the accessories have been delayed because of that focus on the bikes, but we're basically there. Troy hopefully can give us a better update on standard touring kits for Canada. I don't have the exact status offhand, but he'll be able to provide that when he comes in, hopefully. Catherine, thank you for your patience, by the way. Really appreciate it. And sorry about the fenders there in Canada, that you're not able to ride in the rain because of that. From Marcus, do you have a launch date for the Babymaker 2? And what will be the differences to the original Babymaker? So Marcus, the Babymaker 2, a couple things. It's got a bigger battery, about 43% more capacity on that. Slightly different geometry, so it's a little bit more comfortable for a lot of folks with a slightly more stretched riding position. And the handlebars are different as well. So instead of droppers or uppers, we're going with a straight bar just for everybody. So it's a really cool bike, very, very similar to the Babymaker 1 with a few upgrades based on your guys' feedback. All right. Oh, you got the camera. Come on in here. Big big round of applause for Troy here.
See the normal camera.
Troy's in. He's got the trophy. So this is why we look like potatoes today. We're on the webcam instead of the good camera.
That's right.
I could try and get this set up while you're doing your update,
I like the satin filter. It takes 10 years off my age.
No promises here.
Look like I'm living.
Your microphone is not on yet. Let's see, your number 4.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Check.
Check. For cash.
I think we hear you. All right.
All right.
I'm going to play with this camera while you jump into the update. How are you doing today, by the way? How was your holiday?
It was good. It was very good. Got to see the kids and the grandkids. All that. Actually, we had the message, Mikkel or Michael, I'm not sure. So he's in Denmark, and we are actually just emailing back to our, I think we have a fulfillment partner. We've been working a long time to get a fulfillment partner in Europe. A couple of things. One is the paperwork side of it, and two, with the kind of crush at the end of the year, there wasn't a whole lot of interest in setting up another vendor. We're not that huge, and they didn't really want to do the paperwork. They've been kind of like, okay, they're going on vacation, the office people and all that stuff. So he is back, Ruben is back, and we are communicating. I'm going to send him a sample address file. It's close. So appreciate you being patient, Michael or Mikkel, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, and it is coming. Catherine, I'm going to check on yours. We just put out some touring package labels yesterday to FedEx. I'm not sure if yours was one of them or not. There wasn't a bunch of them. It was about 6 if I remember correctly. but we are fulfilling all of those. We're moving those out. I think there's about 100 plus U.S. ones moving in the next few days. So yes, those are moving. Okay. So let's start with U.S. Really, Babymaker's, I think Rob kind of covered it. There's really not much of an update. We've gotten our final container in. We've got basically the only bikes we have left are, we have about 30 bikes of various configurations that we offered up for swaps. If people didn't want to swap them, I think we put them on the website, and they are available now. Everybody else, I guess, has been upgraded to a Babymaker 2, is my understanding. So there are no Babymakers coming until the Babymaker 2 comes, which is an exciting thing in and of itself. I've ridden it, and it's fantastic.
Super exciting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the Babymaker 1 is great. The Babymaker 2 is the next generation, that much better. Okay, let's move on. So touring packages, let's see, yeah, we had 90 US touring packages, 5 Canadian in fulfillment right now, and then we've got some more that'll be moving. Chargers, we've got about 300 chargers that are in fulfillment right now, and that's going to be quite a few more as we work through the rest of the Shopify orders. So if you ordered a charger, you're going to have it here very, very shortly. We do have other bikes coming though, and I can talk about those. The Container 26 is in. We've got a bunch of Bandits, Trails, and Blades are now here, and we have our next container, which is due to launch in about a week and a half, I think the 15th, with more step-throughs and more Blades and more F5 Tourings, which are very popular. If you haven't watched any of the videos on the F5, fantastic bike, and step-through 2 is such a huge improvement over the original step-through. Great bike. We're gonna have a ton of those coming in here, probably about mid-February, just in time for Valentine's Day, if you're thinking about that.
Exciting. Hey, that's a great Valentine's Day gift.
Absolutely.
Speaking of gifts, I like your shirt.
You like that?
Tell us about it.
That is, I'll tell you about. Okay, this is my design. Did I do a plug?
Go for it.
Rob inspired me. Hang around entrepreneurs. I actually have a company called chemtees.com. Took inspiration from Breaking Bad. Always liked the kind of Breaking Bad logo. Applied it to some other things. Kind of libertarian minded. Very independent, kind of pain in the butt that I am. So, chemtees.com, those are available for sale, and
check him out if you want to support Troy. He's got to buy more protein so I can keep up in here.
Yeah, exactly. I need to buy some more gym equipment. Is my problem. Rob's got a gym.
There we go.
And an airplane.
All right, where were we?
All right, you don't want to talk about that. Okay, so batteries, we are going to get those going. We had them ready. They're in China, ready to go. Now that we've cleared the Christmas rush and all that stuff, we'll get those onto a container and get those moving. So it just, again, we've beat this drum a long time, and it really hasn't gotten any better. Logistics is problematic. So before Christmas, it was just no way we were going to get these things moving. Now we can move them again because of the batteries. It's always a problem moving those. Touring kits a little easier. No batteries. Okay. Should we talk about Europe?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Europe. If you are on Spain build. Plan to build 14. Those bikes are moving and they are on their way to distribution. It's 129 bikes. 128 bikes, 78 for the EU, 50 for the UK, including some replacements for some bikes that were stolen in the UK, unfortunately. All of those, we just put out a address confirmation on those, and we'll be putting out the VAT letters on those shortly. And you will be looking for those. Please pay your VAT quickly when you get those letters. We've still got bikes, about 21 in the EU and about 20 in the UK, where people have not paid VAT. I've done my best to try and match those up with other users and send them VAT letters to move those, but it's kind of a shame. People have asked, wanted their bikes, and then they paid for their bike, and now they're sitting for VAT, and in some cases have been sitting up to about 8 months. So if you don't have your bike and you're in the EU and the UK and you haven't paid your VAT, that is the reason why. Check your spam folders, because we've sent out a lot. In fact, we're sending out another round of reminders to try and get folks to pay their VAT. But 128 bikes on their way, so those are going to be, you'll get your VAT letter, and we will get those shipped out immediately. We are anticipating build 15, production build 15 will start on Friday. That is 82 bikes for the EU, 21 bikes for the UK, and I'm guessing those are probably going to move about the 19th of the month to distribution, is what we're looking at right now. And that will finish out all of Europe, with the exception of about 30 bikes that are on QC. We had to get new frames for some bikes from China. They had been damaged either in transit or in production and kind of got shuffled to the side. We've got some replacement frames for those, and those are, we'll be building those. Those will be replacing some bikes and we'll be finishing this all out. Probably end of January, we should be all done with Europe on bikes. So, talked a little bit before. Touring kits and chargers are in Spain for the EU. They are in the UK for the UK, and we are finalizing a deal with FedEx on the UK. That took a long time, and a deal with actually FedEx in the EU also. And as soon as that is done, we will put out all the letters for those, and we will get those out to you also. Again, we already talked about the batteries. Battery status is the same basically worldwide. And then, let's see, we can talk about the low volume locations. We had one straggler bike in Taiwan that we didn't have a national ID for. We finally got that, and we have moved that bike. All of the remaining Australia and New Zealand bikes, touring packages, and chargers are landed in Australia. We've put out the letters for GST and those locations for all those products, and those should be shipping out as you pay your GST.
Awesome.
And there we are.
You ready to handle some questions?
Sure, absolutely.
These updates are getting a lot shorter now that we're 100% in so many locations. All right, let's see where we left off. So, Catherine, we were answering her questions.
Yeah.
Thanks and sort of. LOL. Got a spare battery before the bike.
It happens sometimes.
So she was waiting on a touring package in Canada. What was the answer on that again?
Well, I'll take a look for her specific one since I have her name. There was about 5 of them, and I'll take a look and see if there's some others that we have. We think we got them all, but we go through and sweep these through. Although this is an older order, we should have picked that one up. So I'll check that one. I'll do my best, depending on how long the live lasts, to actually respond in the comments section.
Great. All right, Gregory Owens. Hello, I ordered a Babymaker in November 2021. I don't know how the building and shipping works. Can you give me an estimate of at least building time? So, Gregory, that's going to depend on what configuration you ordered. Basically, if we have the configuration in a Babymaker 1 available, we'll be sending that out to you ASAP, but we've shipped all of our Babymaker 1s in the US. So what's likely going to happen is if you have not received an email saying your bike is shipped yet, then you're going to get the same configuration in a Babymaker 2. So super exciting, and those are going to be coming here pretty darn soon. We'll have more concrete updates actually from the factory. I'll be at the factory for a large part of the production. I can't say too much about it just yet because we haven't officially launched the product yet, but stay tuned. We're very, very excited about it. Eastgate Unity, what's up, brother? How you doing? Good to have you on. Okay, Patrick Landy, Babymaker standard ordered in July 2020, still waiting. Patrick, you're not alone. There are other people still waiting as well. So totally get the frustration. I wonder if he's in U.S. or Europe or U.K. But we will get that sorted, Patrick. We're gonna get that bike
I'll see
to
if
you.
I can locate his name. I'll see if we can get him a response.
Sweet. Troy's gonna look into that and see where you're at.
Yes, I try sometimes, depending on the length of the live. Sometimes it ends before I can answer all of them, but I do my best.
Sweet. From TC, hi Rob. I'm at U.S. location and I haven't got any confirmation if I'm part of the exception group of orders, and I haven't received my bike. Can someone please follow up with contribution ID 13430? Sure. Can we look into that?
Yep, can do.
TC, we're gonna look into that for you. 13430. Mr. Tony Montana, how long it will take to die? Now 90 bikes are ready. Again, 3 months. When will the bikes finally get to the customer? If I remember correctly, he's definitely in Europe or UK. But we did just give the update there. So the final one of 2 containers that has shipped to our distribution center, and shipping confirmation emails went out on that, correct?
The address confirmation. So he's saying he does not have it. I always forget this guy's name too. His actual name is the versus
his screen name.
His screen name here. If you want to paste your order number up, I'll take a look. I'm sorry, I can't always remember all the names, especially when there's screen names and things like that. There's thousands. So if you want to paste your order number in, I'll take a look at it. You should have gotten an address confirmation. There's still SP15, which that will not go out probably until, I would guess, probably the end of next week, when we really have that build firmed up and know exactly what we're going to yield out of that.
Cool. So if you were on that prior shipment, SP14, you will have gotten confirmation. But if you're on the next one, you won't have that just yet, right?
Yeah, end of next week. Probably.
Cool. That we're expecting the end of next week. But that rounds out Europe and UK. So you've been so patient to wait this long, and we're basically there. That next shipment is everything except for, like you said, 30 bikes that we're reworking.
Yeah, there's about 30 QC bikes.
Okay, cool. So that's bikes where we found like an issue with it, so we had to pull it, not ship it, and change out a component, and then ship it. All right, TC says, awesome shirt, Troy. Yeah, that's super cool.
You have good taste.
Check it out, chemtees.com, if you want to support our man Troy here. FedEx still hasn't gotten my bike to deliver to me. Facebook user. We don't have the name. Send us your order number.
Yeah.
Mr. It's not showing your name here for us. It just says Facebook user. Your comment, FedEx still hasn't gotten my bike to deliver to me. If you send us your order number.
Just paste your order number, and you don't have to put in your real name and all that stuff. No one else can identify you by your order number other than us.
Cool. Can you confirm if the VAT email for order 11647 has been sent?
I don't know what build you're in. I will take a look.
So SP14, when are we expecting to send those VAT letters?
Those will probably go, I'm going to guess, probably Friday.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like to get them into the warehouse. And if you're in the UK, you're in transit for about 4 days here. So
sweet.
Not including weekend.
Here's Patrick's 13389 in France. Okay. Got you.
That sounds familiar. Okay, let me take a look at that one.
Cool. It seems pretty consistent here. We're seeing a lot of Europe and UK, to be expected, because that's
so
the slowest location.
Really important on the EU. Mm-hmm. We do not if you're in the UK, you get a VAT letter. If you're in the EU, well, you get VAT letters now, but we were fulfilling some from the UK, and some folks didn't respond to DHL promptly about VAT payment, and we had a bunch of bikes bounce back to us. And so if you get a VAT notification, certainly one from DHL, you need to pay that promptly. Otherwise, they'll hold it for like 72 hours, and then they bounce it back to us. But the ones that we're fulfilling now out of Spain, we send you a VAT letter, and we just kind of hold the bike until we get payment. a little bit of a disconnect because we had the group of bikes that fulfilled from the UK into the EU, and that was kind of a bit of an anomaly that we had. So, but I'll take a look at that one, and I'll paste in answers for those.
Awesome. From TC, appreciate it. Thank you.
So you're gonna have to talk a while I answer these.
No problem. I can talk.
You can talk.
I can talk.
You can talk about your cross-country flight.
Oh yeah.
As the pilot.
Oh man.
If you didn't follow it, you guys should really look that up. It was pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, if you're not following my Instagram, you got to hop on there.
You should. This guy lives life. I'm not going to say on steroids because he's all buff and that doesn't sound right. But the way he does things is it's just called as a white knuckler on a full-time basis.
Yeah, the team. I don't know how they feel about that, but
what
if I don't show up for work one day, be in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right. Ray Weno. Hi, Rob and Troy. Congrats on 100% in the U.S. Since it's taking so long to get batteries fulfilled, is there an average lifespan for the battery so I know about when ahead of time I should buy a new one?
Good question.
Ray, that's a great question. So if you maintain the battery, in how you do that basically is you want to give it some use. So you want to charge it up. And if you can, discharge it too. So that's running some power on it. You know, you could swap that in your bike. Do that every 2 to 3 months. That's really going to extend the life of that battery. They can sit for quite a long time without really any noticeable difference. But the recommendation is every 2 to 3 months. Give it some activity. In terms of lifespan and keeping its capacity, they are rated to maintain 80% of their capacity after 500 cycles. So depending on how much you use your current battery, that could be anywhere from a year or two before you start seeing a noticeable difference to 5-10 years even on the long side. So just keep an eye on it, and once you get to a point where you're like, this sucks, like it goes half as far as it used to, and you feel like upgrading, you can do that then. Jeff McFarlane, Jeff and Sarah in Virginia. We have had Trail Gen 2s for almost 3 years and have had no problems and love them. Jeff, hey, that's so awesome to hear. Jeff and Sarah, really appreciate the feedback on that. So you've got the Trail with the Bafang Max motor. That's a good one. Super fun bike. And you got the battery that pops out. Love it. All right, I'm gonna give you a couple more, and then I could jump on these while you do some research.
I'll do my thing. Okay.
All right. From Vaughn, order 13542, ordered in August 2020. Still no bike. Okay. Troy's gonna add it on his list. I'll come back to a couple of these, but while Troy's here, how about order 13638?
Okay.
To Hamburg, Germany.
Take a look.
Troy's gonna do his best on this. You're getting a lot of order numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna start limbering up my fingers.
Right.
So I have to type quick to try and get through all these.
Jeff says we've had our batteries for 3 years with no issues. Awesome.
That's
really cool to hear. Vaughn, we got your comment earlier. 13542 FedEx still doesn't have my bike to deliver to me. Troy, are you gonna be able to see all these comments? Because some are on Facebook and some are on YouTube.
I don't know.
Do you have
they
both?
All show up?
You might have to check 2 different platforms.
Oh, I don't know.
So the
about
Facebook
that. Okay.
group where the live is, and then also YouTube.
Oh, those
the
don't
YouTube
show
video.
up in the YouTube comment. Okay, I will do my best.
Unless you log into this and you just look at the comments.
Okay.
Which I can send you the login for.
Yeah, why don't you do that? That's
all right.
Okay.
Cool.
Why don't you send me that way you can see them, and I will pound through these as quickly as possible, and you're just going to have to...
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a little video while we do that. Let's see if I can get it.
All right. I'm going to bail out of here then.
All right, cool.
All
Thank
right.
you, Troy.
Take
Big
care.
round of applause. Troy's going to look up those orders. I'm going to see if I can get a video going here. It looks like I can.
Is going through its biggest change
Whoa.
since
All right. So I got to send Troy something here. We're going to take a little break and check out this video one more time. If you guys don't know, we are doing an equity crowdfund right now. That means you can invest in FLX just in time for the Babymaker 2 launch. This is live right now. We've raised $372,000 so far. I can't go into too much more detail legally, but you can go over to the page and check it out. But I'll play this video for a quick break here, and then we'll get right back into questions because I got to send Troy some logins to see all these comments and look up your orders. So hang tight. Be right back.
Transportation is going through its biggest change since the invention of the wheel.
Most cars burn gas and put toxic fumes into the air we breathe. They're expensive to fill up, and sitting in traffic is a miserable experience. Of course, you could just ride a bike, but it can be slow and monotonous, and you might arrive drenched in sweat. For most people, it's just not practical.
That's why we started FLX Bike. We make electric bikes that allow you to ride faster, climb higher, and explore further than ever before.
With electric power, you can zip in and out of traffic in record time. FLX bikes use less resources than any gas or electric car. They're fast, fun, and beautiful. We crowdfunded our first e-bikes in 2016. They raised over $2 million of pre-orders in just 60 days, and we've been growing ever since. Last year, we released the Babymaker, a viral sensation that took over $13 million in pre-orders in a blockbuster crowdfund campaign. We don't want to be the bargain basement of e-bikes. Our customers choose FLX because we make high-performance bikes that look sexy. E-bikes you'd be proud to ride and show off to your friends. Think the Tesla of e-bikes. That's why we've taken in over $29 million of cumulative revenue since our first launch.
And we've done it all completely bootstrapped, having never taken outside investment. To make money, we follow Tesla's tried and true model. Design a hot new product, get reservations, and ship it.
We skip the middlemen and sell direct to you. You get a better value, and we get a better margin to serve you. We acquire new customers at a profit thanks to an average 10 times return on our marketing spend.
It's no secret, the e-bike market is exploding.
It reached $24 billion in 2020 and is expected to double by 2026. We're in the perfect place to claim our share of this growing market. We're a passionate team of underdogs who will stop at nothing to be top dog. Our leadership team has experience leading 10 startups to over $200 million in exits.
There should be no doubt. Electric is in and gas is out. I'm still kicking myself for not investing in Tesla in 2008 when their first car launched. An idiot! This is your opportunity to get on the ground floor with proven leaders. Don't miss your chance to invest in FLX and join us on our mission to disrupt the bike industry.
Together, we can make the world a little less gray and a little more green. Invest today and tell your friends. You win, we win, and the planet wins. And pollution loses, naturally. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't seen it yet, we played it before here once or twice. But Troy is now looking into a bunch of these orders. If you sent him your order number, he is speeding through on the computer, working on those. And there were a couple questions here that I missed out that weren't so much for Troy. So I'll get back to those. All right, we got Patrick's. There was a question about the Babymaker 2 here from Marcus Nolte. One more thing, with all the learning curves, do you expect to deliver the Babymaker 2 faster this time? I waited 18 months this time. I'm really thinking about upgrading. Marcus, that's a great question. So the Babymaker 1, like you mentioned, learning curves is an understatement. It's an insult to the word understatement. We did learn a lot, especially making that many bikes through the current global supply chain and the insane constraints that have recently been added to the supply chain through COVID. It has been totally wild. So the feedback overall about the bike is extremely positive, but about the delivery and the waiting time for it, definitely not the most positive. People having to wait for 18 months, like you said, to get the bike. Not great. It is very typical for Indiegogo, But this time, what we want to do is be able to deliver those things way, 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 way faster. And so we've been working very, very hard in the background to have a plan so that when you order the bike, basically, it's going to ship out like that week or that couple weeks. So we produce them first and then ship them to you. That's the idea. That's the biggest takeaway, and really the only common complaint that we see with the Babymaker one, just delivery time. When am I getting my product, my bike, my accessories, etc. So moving forward, we want to get as far away from pre-orders as we can, and really just make sure that when you do order a product, you know when you're going to get it, and it's going to come in a timely fashion. That's until we can have, I guess, more mature systems to really communicate if it is like a pre-order situation in the future, exactly where that order is. But that's going to take a lot of infrastructure to implement. So for now, the strategy will be build, then ship, rather than sell, then build, then ship. Build, sell, ship. That's the idea. Cool. Nitesh, will VAT still apply despite placing an order prior to Brexit? That's a tongue twister. Will VAT still apply despite placing an order prior to Brexit? Yes, it will. Nitesh, it will apply. We do have to follow the laws there in Europe. It doesn't matter when the order was placed. VAT is due in Europe and UK. Patrick Landy, about batteries, for how many years are you going to be able to supply spare batteries? Patrick, great question. So we launched our first bikes in 2016, and we are still providing spare batteries for those bikes. Now it's 5-6 years later. We're still providing those spare batteries. We plan to, when we build a bike, plan to continuously support it. So it is a lot of load on us, but we can handle it, and it'd be crazy to sell you something that you won't be able to get support for just a few years down the road. So we do plan to stock components for every bike that we sell. Okay, and check it out. Troy is answering people's inquiries. Wilco's on SP15. I'll let Troy handle those. If you guys are on here, just check the comments. Wilco, you're on SP15, which begins production Friday. Daniel, I'm still waiting for my free Babymaker t-shirt that I won months ago, and my wife's bike as well. What's going on, guys? Daniel, I think I remember that. Are you in Canada? I remember you winning a t-shirt in it was an Instagram contest or something like that, and there might have been an issue shipping it to Canada. That's what I remember offhand, but please reach out to our support team, support@flx.bike, or you can DM us on Instagram. Just send a screenshot of like the conversation we had. Please let us take care of that, confirm the address, and get you out that t-shirt. It is Canada. Great. I'm sorry about that. If you hadn't got the t-shirt that you won yet, that's definitely not how we wanted that to go. Wow, that's all the questions. We're just tearing through these this time. So it's 2022, and a question we went over here in the office is, what's something that you can do specifically to make this year better than last year? So I will pose that question for you guys here if you want to interact here, and I'll throw the comments up here, and then I'll tell you about some things that we're going to do as a team to make this year better than last year. So again, what's one thing you can do this year in 2022 to make it even better than 2021? For us here as a team, like we mentioned, kind of shifting strategies from the sell, build, ship to build, sell, ship. So what that means is we're going to build the products first, and then once they're built and ready to go, then we sell them and ship them to you. So there's going to be much less waiting time for our products, because the Babymaker campaign, it was awesome. It was so much fun to do, so much fun making all the videos and talking to everybody daily, weekly while we ran that campaign. And we got a ton of positive feedback about it, a ton of people sharing the campaign and jumping on it. But when it came time to fulfill everything, it did take a lot longer than everybody had expected. And that was really disappointing for a lot of people. So we want to get away from that and make sure that you guys are the happiest customers on earth when you buy an FLX bike. And that delivery time has been the biggest pain point. So reducing that is a massive, massive goal of ours and a massive focus. So you can expect to hear some really cool things we're doing to actually achieve that in the next couple weeks here. We'll have an exciting announcement regarding how we produce the bikes coming out. You'll actually get to see from inside the factory floor. I'll be there in just a couple weeks here, depending on when these components arrive, our next components, and I'll be able to show you guys behind the doors how we do things. Some other things we are doing as well is focusing a little bit more on our customers. Again, with the Babymaker campaign, we went from a very small team and 10x'd our business. So we had 10 times more customers, probably 100 times more emails and calls coming in because people were waiting on their product. So it did take a little bit of time to catch up to that volume of inquiries, but we've done so. We finally got through all the tickets and everything. We had to turn the phones off for a little while. Now they're back on, but we will continue making progress there and improving our support and our systems throughout the company, really the infrastructure internally of the company, so that we can support big volumes and do it better. And our goal really is to have the best support in the business. So that's another thing we'll be focusing on, as well as making some cooler content, more content, just to show you guys, hey, what can the bike do? Make informational videos, educational, but also entertaining videos about e-bikes, how to maintain them, how to ride them, etc. So if you've got any ideas for videos or any questions about the product that you think we could answer with a video, please let us know. And additionally, something I would love to do is go out and meet some of you in person. If you've got your Babymaker or your other FLX bike, let me know. You can DM me on Instagram. Just say, hey, I'm here in Dallas, Texas, and I make mattresses for a living. Come on out for a ride, whatever it is. I'd love to come out and see you, ride bikes with you, hear your story about the Babymaker, and kind of share those stories with the rest of the FLX and the Babymaker community. So hit me up on Instagram. I'll share it here. Or you can email our support team, help@flx.bike, and just tell them you want to do something with Rob. Cool. I'll add that right there. So Troy's answering a bunch of these questions. TC, I've got tracking, but it looks like your bike was never shipped. Unfortunately, I'm out of that model. Contact support and we can possibly do a swap. All right, from Phil, back in October, UK touring kit address confirmation sent out. Kits were at the distribution center and then nothing. Have lessons from delayed bike deliveries really been learned? So Phil, we did cover the touring packages for UK and EU previously. What's happening there is we're stuck on some administrative paperwork tasks in EU and UK. We've been going back and forth for months with these guys, just trying to get some paperwork approved with their tax offices. You have to get it notarized here, officially translated, and then get an apostille from the Secretary of the State in California, and then send that over, and then they'll come back and say, oh, well, there was an extra comma here, so you have to do it again. And then you'll do it again, and they'll say, oh, the ink color was wrong, so you have to do it again. So that's the status of the paperwork, but it's just dragged on indefinitely. Unfortunately, that's been our experience doing a lot of things in Europe, is a lot of paperwork and minuscule details that just completely derail the process. So we're looking for alternatives for the shipping in Europe and UK for accessories specifically. Touring packages is one of those, and we'll continue work on that. At the same time, we're going to continue trying to push this paperwork through for the 5th time now, but that will take a little bit longer than possibly an alternative that we're working on. Great. So Troy, Daniel, we're just seeing the one bike under your name. Let us know about the other order for your wife that you said you're still waiting on, please. If it's under a different name or order number, just the order number will be good. I'm going to scan here and see if we missed any other questions. Troy is still looking into orders right now, but let's see if any were missed. Patrick, got it. We're getting a lot less people on the lives, Babymaker lives, because everybody's gotten their bike except for the final 2 containers in Europe and UK. One of which has already gone out to our distribution center, but not yet to customers. And the final one, we're expecting that to leave within the next week or 2 here. I think that's every single question here. I gotta stay online just because Troy is still looking into orders. So any final questions, please send them here. And I'm gonna see if we got any cool videos prepared that we can play just to keep people entertained while Troy is looking into orders. Let's see what we've got. All right. So we got this cool weapon video to play. Let's see.
You know, they say there's a point on the trail one very few people get to experience, where the separation between rider and bike vanishes. Every gear working in unison with the bumps and the grooves, the suspension giving and rebounding with every crack, the ebbs and flows of the trail laying itself down like leaves falling from the trees. The secret, you ask? Well, my friend, it really isn't a secret at all. There's only one necessary need: a sturdy bike that can get you up and down the hill every single time. The weapon.
That was a good one. So that was Max. He actually works for our sister company, Miles Board. He hopped in to record a voiceover for the weapon, and he's got a lot of talent with that. This is stuff that takes me like a week to come up with a script and record it, and he'll just bang it out in 20 minutes. Really, really awesome. He's doing some great stuff. If you want to check out some other work by Max and our sister company, you can go to milesboard.com to check out our sister company and the best electric skateboards on the market. I will show you that here. There it is, milesboard.com. Check it out. And let's see if we got any other cool footage while we're waiting for some final comments. I will be ending the live maybe slightly early because we've handled everybody's question and it's a bit slower today. That means people either have their bikes or they're still hungover from New Year's. We're going to check out this. This is a video. You know what it is. It might be skateboards, it might be bikes, but let's check it. Awesome. So that was Kristen, by the way, featured in that video, and she's recently been promoted. She came in as an executive assistant. She's now the assistant manager here at our San Diego branch, just doing an awesome job, keeping everybody focused, staying on top of the details, making sure we're compliant everywhere. Really killing it. So big congrats to Kristen for that. And if you come into the shop here in San Diego, you might just run into her. All right, I'm going to give you guys one final video, and if there's no other questions, we'll be ending this live. We got the Bandit with no music, huh? So that video didn't even have sound, but it was cool. Some Bandit footage. That bike is so much fun. You can fit 2 people on it. We have some other bikes in the works that we can't tell you about just yet, but stay tuned this year, 2022, for some new bike launches that are going to be super cool. So Troy Von Rana, we're short of the model you ordered. Contact rider support about alternatives. G14, does the Gladiator 2.0 come with normal mountain bike tires? G14, the Gladiator 2 is our fat bike, so that's going to come with 4-inch tires. I wouldn't say that's a normal mountain bike tire. It's a really fat tire. The closest to that is our Trail. So the F5 Trail is a very similar bike. It's got the same motor, same battery, but that has normal mountain bike tires. If that's something you're looking for, you can get the Trail. But if you want, I don't know, maybe you want both the fat tires and regular tires, you could always do that, where you get the Gladiator and then get an extra set of wheels and tires that you can swap out if you want to go from the fat tires to like a 2.5 inch or 2.1 inch, more standard size mountain bike tire. That's totally possible. And Troy says the F5 Trail is great. I have one. He does, and he rips it on the trails. Troy's got some cool videos on the on his trail on our channel, actually, FLX Bike on YouTube, and I think he'll be making more here soon. Tony K, you're on SP14. You should have an address confirmation from us. Check your spam folder. Cool. I'm looking at Troy right now. So Troy's still looking up orders. I'm gonna try and keep this live going a little bit longer while he looks up more orders here, so we can get as much information to you guys as possible. From Troy Castillo, thanks Troy. In our case, since we do want the same configuration, do we need to let support know of a possible Babymaker 2 upgrade option? Troy, let's see. I will let Troy answer that one, because I've lost the original comment from you about the bike, so I can't answer it. Cool. So I'll tell you guys a little story while we're waiting on Troy to send out some more answers. If you're watching, so this year it was a big goal of mine to purchase an airplane. Since I was a kid, I always wanted to get one. The reason is my dad was building an airplane in our garage. So I was 4 years old, and my dad always had like the frame of this airplane that he was building, and every day he'd do a little something on it. And one day he had the engine all installed. He brought it out on the driveway and fired it up. And me and my brother were sitting in this cockpit, just an empty skeleton of an airplane. And it's blowing on our faces and we're laughing, having the time of our lives. And my dad actually got busy with his first business. He was an entrepreneur as well, inventing some cool products. And he never finished the airplane. He ended up having to sell that airplane before he finished it. And I'd always dreamed as a kid of flying with my dad. I never got to do it. So it's kind of something I wanted to do my whole life, was get into aviation, become a pilot. Finally did that when I was 22 years old. And this year was the year for me where I was finally going to carry on the torch and get my own airplane. But the market is absolutely crazy. I don't know if it's because of COVID or because we're printing so much money and inflation has gone rampant and people want to get their money out of cash and into assets which hold their value. But an airplane will go up online and 10 minutes later it will be sold sight unseen. People won't even go see it. Just send them the money and say, hey, I want that one. So it's just nuts. Every good airplane I saw, within hours it was gone. First I would wait days and then hours. And finally I saw one on my drive up to Sacramento. I saw this one while I was at a rest stop. So I called the guy and said, hey, I'll take it. I want that one. I sent him a deposit sight unseen and flew out to North Carolina to go buy this airplane that I'd never seen. So I went and checked it out. And the airplane, it was good. I hired a couple people to inspect it. They said they'd fly in it. They loved it. So we shook hands. I got the airplane. And then I had to fly this thing back to San Diego. And I didn't want to do it alone. So what happened is I saw this guy on Facebook a few years ago. His name was Cameron Rast. Same last name as me. We had sent a couple messages to each other. And he's also a pilot. He had a picture of an airplane in his photo. He was in South Carolina. I said, dude, do you want to fly this thing back with me? And he's like, yup, let's do it. So I stopped in South Carolina, picked him up, and we had the craziest storms going across the whole U.S. last week. So we got stuck there for a day or two, and then we were just trying to fly this thing and dodge thunderstorms all the way back to San Diego. It was absolutely terrifying at times. We got stuck in a few places. We drank moonshine, we shot guns, we stayed in the nastiest motels, but we finally got this thing back, and it was totally the adventure of a lifetime. So everybody out there, the reason I tell this story with you is, one, go do something crazy. Have some fun this year. Go get out and live. Take your Babymaker on a crazy adventure. And two, with that airplane, something I plan on doing is going to flying that out and meeting with some of our customers. So going out, whether it's Washington or even New York, maybe we can go out, bring the airplane. It can't fit a bicycle, unfortunately, but we can throw a skateboard in there, do some filming, and meet you guys and tell your story. The other thing I want to highlight too is other cool electric vehicles. So if you know any companies that are making cool battery technology, electric airplanes, anything cool that has to do with EVs, please let me know, let us know, and tell me where they are. And I'm going to go out and see them and share their story with you guys, just so we all can see the coolest, hottest tech, because that's something I absolutely love. All right, from Gregory, when will you be able to talk about the Babymaker 2? Gregory, I've been talking about it a little bit more lately. I can't give all the details just yet because we don't want to disappoint anybody if something changes, but we're very, very close to launching that bike. I would expect towards the end of this month, you're going to hear a lot more about it, and definitely next month you probably won't stop hearing about it from us. That's about all I can say at the moment. From Gregory Owens, nice way to pay tribute to your dad. Awesome. Yeah, speaking of that, thanks for mentioning that. So I emailed my dad once I got back because I didn't want him to worry about me on that trip, and said, hey, I picked up an airplane, and he's totally jazzed up about it. He lives in Washington, so I'll probably be flying up there soon and taking him for a flight, and kind of reliving that childhood dream, I guess. Peter's, my order number is 91177. I ordered my Babymaker on February 1. I've been very patient. Where's my bike? I need an update. This is ridiculous. Hey, Peter, great question. If you have not got your bike yet, you ordered in February 21. If you didn't get an email from us saying, like, hey, your bike is shipped, etc., what's likely is that your bike is being upgraded to the Babymaker 2, which will be coming out here very soon. It's got some upgrades from the 1. It's got more battery life, a little bit more comfortable of a ride, and more comfortable handlebars as well, based on some feedback we've got. All right, Troy answered Catherine. It's our mistake. I believe this is about a touring package for Canada. He's going to locate it and get it fulfilled for you. Man, Troy is on fire today. I'm just going to give him a big round of applause right now for all the hard work there behind the scenes, answering everybody's question. Awesome. So while we wait on some more answers from Troy, I'll just keep this live going with some silly travel stories. The craziest part about that whole trip with the airplane was I was literally in fear for my life on my first solo trip in that airplane. And it's not because the plane's hard to fly. Like, it's a dream to fly. It's got autopilot. It's actually easier to fly an airplane than it is to drive a car, believe it or not. Every time I get down from the airplane, I have to drive a car. I'm like, what is this? You have to do stuff with the steering wheel? Because with the airplane, you could just type in your destination, basically, hit the autopilot, choose your altitude, and sit back, relax, look out for traffic, and it'll fly itself. It's sweet. I always wanted an airplane with autopilot. Definitely recommend it. And Tesla's doing that now. I'll have to get an autopilot bicycle too. But anyways, this first trip that I had with the airplane, it was getting dark by the time we finished with the airplane there. This is in North Carolina, and there's this big storm that's pushed through. So the cloud ceiling has already come in a lot. There's clouds everywhere. And legally, I can't fly the airplane in clouds because I'm not current with that. And it's getting dark too. It's like 4 or 5 p.m. by the time I can take off. And I have to go to South Carolina to see Mr. Cameron Rast, my new cousin who's got the same last name. And I decide, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And I jump in the plane and go. And it all starts off fine. Like, it was kind of clear. There were clouds up above, but I'm at 6,000 feet. And then the clouds start getting a little bit lower. And so I go lower. And then it starts pouring rain on me. And I find out the airplane leaks. So the rain starts coming in and dribbling all over me and my equipment. And then the clouds get a little bit lower. And so I come down to like 3,000 feet. And then it gets dark. And the clouds keep getting lower. They come down to 2,500 and then to 2,000. And by this time, I'm at the legal limit in terms of altitude, how low you can go. And the air traffic controllers, they keep asking me, they're like, dude, what flight conditions are you in? Because it looks like you're flying somewhere you shouldn't be flying in terms of how much cloud coverage there is, etc. I'm like, well, on visual, it's all good to go. And I can just barely see the lights on the ground through mist and stuff. It was not good. It was so sketchy that I kept wondering, like, I should either turn back or do something because this could end very, very badly. But finally, just kept on that path, and the clouds kind of opened up a little bit towards that airport, and I couldn't even see the airport until I was right on top of it. And I'm like, oh, there it is. And I had to attempt this landing 3 times because the wind was so strong that I came around and I'd be in the wrong position. I'd come around, be in the wrong position again. But finally got it down, and I realized, like, wow, there's a reason we set limits for ourselves, and that's something I never wanted to do again, is put myself in that kind of position. It was a good learning experience, and I'm glad glad to have gotten through it. All right, from Troy, Peter, let me see if I have a bike to allocate it at the warehouse. I hope everybody who sent a question is still kind of tuned in, waiting for answers. Troy is actively, I actually see his little webcam here. He's searching every single order here where people have left their order number for questions and coming up with those answers. All right, Troy says, I think I got them all. That's fantastic. All right, guys. With that, we're going to play some new music then. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning into the live. If you enjoyed it, just kind of coming here, shooting the shit with Troy and I today, super casual, please give us a big thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, Daniel Chartrand, still waiting. Hey, I'm gonna chat with our social media about that, because I believe it was over Instagram. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. Daniel. And we'll get back to you there, Daniel. Giveaway shirt. All right. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Oh, we got one more comment. Now the comments roll in as soon as we go to end it. All right. We do want to answer every single one of these. Peter Self, it's not acceptable. On December 2nd, I received an email from FLX saying I will be getting my Babymaker in 3 weeks, and it never happened. Peter Self. I ordered on February 1. I've been very patient. Where's my bike? I need an update. So, Peter, you did get an email saying you'll receive it in 3 weeks in December. I'm curious what the content of that email was, if that was a shipping confirmation or what. But Troy said he's looking into that right now. So let's see if Troy can get an answer, and then I will end the video. All right, if there's any last minute questions, fire them away now before we end it. Daniel, while Troy looks at that, I'm going to send this. I'm going to see if I can get an answer on the shirt for you. Now you got us both working here. Troy on that and me on the shirt. All right, Daniel. So I'm checking with our social media people on that, on the giveaway shirt anyways. And let's see if Troy's got an answer for Peter here. So one thing that was super surprising last week, Peter says it was a replacement. Okay. So Peter, Troy says he's got to check the warehouse inventory. That's going to take him a little bit longer. We don't have time to do that in the show because he actually has to call into the warehouse and get the inventory and then report back. So we're going to have to follow up with you on email. Thank you for your patience on that, Peter. We will get to the bottom of that, and I'm gonna write that down just to make sure that this doesn't get skipped over. So I'm going to send that to our logistics team. Troy is looking into it right now, and we'll be following up with you by email. All right. With that, we're going to end the live. That is all the questions. Thank you, everybody, again for tuning in. And we're going to end it with a new song, which I love. See you guys later. Boom.